SBR Spirit is a 10-year-old gelding, stands 16 2 hands. This gelding is very kind and calm and laid back, easygoing. He's just kind of a once in a lifetime easygoing horse. We did pick up this horse at an Amish man's house. He called us and held him for probably 6 weeks before I could get there and get him. They had a nice little farm, and they just said that it wasn't big enough to keep him and he couldn't do the trips anymore. Looking at this horse, it makes me think that he probably doesn't have the energy level that would make him a good driving horse. You'll notice every once in a while he takes a longer stride in the back with his left hind, excuse me. And I think we didn't change diagonals here, but he's a horse that's probably been posted more on the right diagonal opposed to the left, and he's a little used to that. But we try to work him to get him to let's post both diagonals. This horse has been pin fired, indicating that he was probably sore somewhere, but usually once they pin fire him, it's not that that works so great, but it makes the horses so sore they have to lay him up. He was laid up for the 6 weeks that we had him, and I know he had laid him up before that. But I think the big problem with this horse is his energy level is not high enough to be on the road. He knows the word whoa, he's easy to catch, and he has a very lofty stride. I let Brienne ride him the other day, and she absolutely loved the stride, loved the horse. He's kind of a confidence builder. You do have to push him. He's not going to run off with you. He's got a good natural flat walk. And Aaron's going to step him up into a trot in a minute. He kind of has a pretty walk the way he picks his legs up. We're not asking him to wear his head in any position. This is just where he's wearing it. I imagine once he starts feeling a little better, he would maybe carry his head even higher, but we don't ask him to. He's been here over a month. It could be a little longer. I kind of lose track of time, but he has good motion. You can see he takes a better stride behind now that Aaron's posting on the right diagonal. I'd like to see him move a little faster, but Aaron's just kind of letting him go at a speed that he's comfortable at. This horse was and is easy to catch. He really likes people. He moved a little bit when we groomed him, but he got better the second time and stood a little better. So as he gets settled in, he gets even more relaxed about his environment. This horse, we're not going to canter him on the video. He did canter. We had to kind of run him into it, and in the process of doing that, he kind of hit a diddly gate, which meant we thought he'd been gated. So Aaron's going to ask him to slow gate. It's a little pacey at this point. Of course, he's not shod to slow gate and rack. He's got no shoes on behind and just shoes on in front. So what we believe is somebody has started him and probably didn't teach him to canter or cantered him very little. Aaron is stopping to let the martingale out. She wants to get his head up a little higher, shift that weight on the back end to make it easier to slow gate. As you can see, a horse trotting by him doesn't bother him. This is really, really a kind, easy-going horse. I can't say that enough. He'd probably be great on trails if somebody just wants to relax. We haven't tried him there, but he would. He would not be a candidate for racking on the trails. It's hard work for him, but you can see he's been taught, he's been gated, and he dropped out of it. Aaron's going to pick him back up and start him again. She's not going to get after him. He's, hasn't done this for years. But he'd be a horse that if you worked him and were kind to him, he probably might be a good gated practice horse. There are gated practice horses. We do not canter, even though he does. This horse would need work cantering. He will canter, but it takes quite a bit of effort. So we're not even going to do it on this video because it's just he needs work. So right now he's walk and trot, and he'll do the little diddly gait here, the little racky doodle. He probably needs more work before you could just put anybody on him to rack him. It takes a feel. That's why he dropped out with Aaron. She must have dropped him for half a second, and he dropped out of the gate, and she had to start him over. That would be hard to teach somebody on him, but I feel he is outside. If you kept him in and let his energy level get up maybe a little bit, if it would, he'd be easier to rack. He This is hard for him, so he's not suitable for a gaited trail horse. If you're interested in this kind, wonderful horse, you can contact Saddlebred Rescue, talk to Erin, and she'll tell you all about him. I wouldn't pass this one up. This is just a really kind horse.